Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to be playing with the Chanel Fall Eyeshadow Quad. The number is 58, and it looks like it's Intensity or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced. It's spelled Intensity, but it has little accents on the N and the E, and so I'm going to assume there's a different way to pronounce this, and so I will work on that. But it's an 18-month shelf life, and it's in the traditional look of the Chanel quads. Now, if you're seeing this in July, then you're seeing it on my Patreon page. If you're seeing it when it's released, which I believe, who really knows, but it'll be the Chanel Fall collection. It could be August, it could be late July. If you're seeing this in early July, though, it's on my Patreon page. But if you're seeing this and it's later in the summer, then it's on my YouTube page. Let me pull this up, my YouTube channel. The reason I put things over on Patreon and behind a paywall is that if they haven't been released yet and you put them up on Instagram or YouTube, you can basically have your channel taken down. So we don't want that to happen. So that's why I put things over here on over there on Patreon. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch this. It actually looks prettier than I thought it would. I wasn't actually sure I was going to pick this up because I was like, it looks like a lot of the shades I already have. But then I realized that it's actually like purpley. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I will try it because I love a good like grayish purple. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see how this works. I do not have the eyeliner or the lipsticks or nail polishes yet. They all look to be what you would consider nude shades, depending on intensity. All right, so those are the 4 shades. This one is like a gold. The rest are purple leaning. This one was a little harder to swatch. These two swatched easily. We'll see how it builds up on the eye, but they definitely have like a plum. I'd say a plum kind of purple gray. And then this one's gold. So that's an interesting contrast. I'll use it as like the primary color on the eye, but we'll use these as the contrasting shades. Okay, so before we get started on the eye look, I'm going to use the Tweed blush in Pink Paradise. This is what I picked up in Italy. I'll swatch it. Like the other Tweed blushes, this one's pretty pigmented actually. All right. We're going to use an FO3 brush, Chikuhodo brush, and I'm not going to use much. If you like a bright pink blush, this will definitely do that. It's very pretty. Okay. I don't think they're coming out with blushes for fall, although I haven't seen the whole thing, so who knows? I could be wrong. All right, let's start with this shade here. In general, the Chanel shades aren't super pigmented. They are more like Suku. You know, they have enough pigment, definitely. They're not, they're not hard to get the pigment. It's just that they are usually a little bit more subdued, a lighter, softer look. Some Chanel quads are quite pigmented. There are a few, but in general, I would say they kind of give off a more subdued, softer look, which I like and is generally what I wear. But, every once in a while, I do like something very pigmented and kind of sparkly. That's generally not the Chanel aesthetic. I mean, sometimes, but most of the time it's, like I said, more of a subdued. All right, so we're gonna use the deepest shade in here. This like very, very plummy. These are definitely purples. So if you don't like purple, you're not gonna like this. Yeah, these are definitely purple shades. They're going on just fine. And the pigment's there. It's not, I'm not having any problems yet. It didn't swatch as well on my hand, but it's going on my eye just fine. And this shade, this deeper shade, this one here, that one is definitely pigment. Just building it out a little bit of the eye, like a little bit on the sides. Now we'll take this shade, which has more of like, almost like a gray tone to it. It has more of a satin kind of finish. And I'm putting that on the lid and then mixing it into the other shades that were in the crease. Yeah, it's a very mauvey purple plum kind of look. All right, now we're gonna take the gold shade and I'm gonna put that on the eye and we'll see how that mixes with the purple. Let's see what it does. All right, I'm gonna mix that in a little bit. Yeah, it's actually a very pretty look. It's not like a color story that I would have immediately thought of, the gold and the purple, but actually it looks quite nice. I'm just going back in with that grayer shade and kind of reinforcing the crease there. Yeah. Okay, so that's the look before I clean it up, put liner on, all that good stuff. But the shades are very pigmented. They are very pretty. If you like a purple quad, I think you'll like a grayish purple quad. I think you'll like this. The gold is actually pretty strong on the eye. So I think it depends if you like to mix those shades together, but it actually does create a very pretty look. And I think you could also do like the gold as the inner corner and leave the rest of it purple. You don't have to use as much gold. You'd make it a more purple look. But I really like that. All right, so let me look at my Chanel liners. Let's see, we've got, so that one's Purple Chalk, that's Psyche, and this is Prune Intense. I think Prune Intense is actually the best shade. At least that's what I'm going with. All right. That looks good. Okay, I like that. And then the other shade I was thinking is Berry, which is the other type of liner. Berry looks a little bit more grayish purple. So I'm going to use that on the lower lash line. Both really good shades, I think, for this. But as you can see, the Berry has more of that gray, so it picks up a little bit more of the gray in the purples, whereas the Prune Intense has more of the plum. But both, I think, really good. Okay, I actually love the way that looks. Let me clean up the eye a little bit, put some mascara on, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We've got some mascara on, and I have to say, guys, like, I really do think this is a really pretty palette. It is a little unusual in its color story, which is not what like when I first looked at it, it looked kind of like similar color stories. It's purple. It's a plummy kind of grayish purple. I'd say plum more than anything else. They look, they build nicely on the eye. Those are the primary shades in this quint. The gold is very pigmented and really pretty. It's a true gold. But it's all, it is like, it's like I said, it's a soft look. It's not duochrome or, shiny or sparkly or anything like that. So I think if you like these softer, subtler looks, I think you'll definitely like this quad. I need to go through my Chanel quads and see what this reminds me of, because it reminds me of something. But I have so many that I can't think of what it is right now. That's a problem when you have more than, 100. I'd say it's really pretty. I would have preferred, this is my taste, I would have preferred this gold to have been like a silvery gray shade. I think that would have gone with this color story more. Like, I would have loved a silver gray with the purples. I think that would have been stunning. I think the gold with the purples actually looks much nicer than I thought it would, but it's definitely a contrast. So it's one of those things that if you like that kind of contrast look, I think it'll work for you. I do think it's pretty. But I could just see me like doing these other purpley grayish taupey shades and then taking something from the, my brain, the Chantecaille Giraffe that has that like white shade in it, or the Metal Lust that has like a silvery gray in it, and there's a couple others that I'm thinking of, that I would use instead, and I would get a cooler gray or purpley more thing, like look. This one leans a little warmer because of that gold, but it is beautiful. I'm not dissing the quint. So quad. So it depends, I think, on your color story. The pigment's there. Formula is really nice, beautiful, really interesting color story. It's not as boring as it looks at first. I think when a lot of us looked at it, especially the pictures, even the pictures I took that you'll see on Instagram, they look a little drowned out. Like, it doesn't really look purple. It looks more neutral, but it's definitely plummy purple. That's definitely the shades. So I really like the quad. Again, my personal taste, I would have preferred a gray silver look, like addition instead of the gold, but I do really like this. I think it's very pretty. I love purples, actually, so this is something I would wear. And with the berry liner and with the other purple liners that I have, I think it makes a really good match. I'm interested to see how it will work with the liner that it comes out with, because the liner that it comes out with, and I don't remember the name now, but it was like a gray charcoal bluish shade, I thought. So maybe it actually has more purple gray, which is possible. But I thought it was like a bluish shade. So that'll be interesting to see. And then all the nail polishes and the lipsticks that came out or will come out for fall look very neutral. Like they look like nudes for well, I shouldn't say every. They're nudes for multiple skin tones. That's what they look like. But it'll be interesting to see when they're actually released. And like I said, fall, probably July, August. Sometimes it's hard to tell though, especially this last year, things have been a little off. So we'll see. Anyway, so that's the look for today. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.